All right, guys, I'm doing another deep dive, and today I'm talking about a Italian niche house, one that I discovered, I believe, in 2017. I remember attending Exxence, and I remember seeing the brand with the most awesome booth, and the bottles were just amazing looking. Like I hadn't seen bottles like that ever before. Super colorful, almost like I don't want to use the word Fabergé eggs, but it kind of sort of similar, but really like ornamental bottles, work of art kind of looks for their bottles themselves, and such gorgeousness. I think they're very beautiful to display and to take out and to spray the perfumes. And so basically the base is how the sprayer fits into. And yeah, you've got a variety of fragrances here. We've got around 23 fragrances, I believe, that I'm going to talk to you about. And the brand is, or was, the House of Oud. I think they want to be known as THoO now, THoO. So we'll go with that because I don't think all the fragrances use oud much, if at all. But they have some great offerings. We've featured a lot of the fragrances from THoO in our Scent Club kit mystery boxes. And let me know if you've gotten any of those mystery boxes yourself and what your thoughts are on some of the fragrances that we featured in the mystery boxes. And also just let me know in general, do you have a favorite fragrance from THoO or the formerly known as the House of Oud? Let me know. And when did you first discover this house? Add a comment also. So let's get started. We're going to do this in alphabetical order, but I'm going to tell you the date the fragrance was launched. And if I forget, I hope I don't, because sometimes I get ahead of myself. But since we're doing this in alphabetical order, we're talking about Almond Harmony first. Look at that beautiful, colorful bottle. So awesome. Let me know again, as I said, if you have a favorite THoO fragrance. So this is Almond Harmony, so most likely it's Nutty Gourmand. This launched in 2016, and I think this is when the brand launched in 2016. I don't recall seeing them at Exxence in 2016. I think I saw them in 2017 for the first time, and I started going in 2016, but maybe I just didn't see the brand. And I think it was the debut in 2017. Everybody was around this booth looking at how gorgeous these bottles are. But with Almond Harmony, it's super almondy. There's a little bit of a bitterness there. It's not going super marzipan-like, but I feel like it happens a little bit. It's quite powdery. Not only does it have iris or orris, it also has heliotrope, which the heliotrope is powdery like iris, but also a bit almondy like the almonds. But this also has tonka, so that actually accentuates the bitterness as well. And I think eventually, as it's settling, it does kind of get close to reminding me a little bit of marzipan. But I don't think this one super goes that direction. A little bit it does. But there's also, a little bit of floral notes in here, like orange blossom. It's quite balsamic. There's a lot of balsamic notes in this. And a little bit of oud goes in there as well. I think that's quite delicious. This is Almond Harmony from THoO. Let me know if you're a fan. And what do you think of the color of this bottle? Do you like the color? And do you like the way it's designed? Really super awesome colors, I think. So, fast forward to the year 2023. We've got a fragrance called BONBON Pop. That's this bottle right here. So I think around 22, 23, they started doing more like picture like bottles, and this one is a fun one. I think gives me the Alice in Wonderland theme a little bit. That one is well, not that one actually. I think it's this one that gives me a bit of the Alice in Wonderland theme. And then there's this one also. When I first saw these three, they launched together. That's what I instantly thought. But let's go back to BONBON Pop, launched in 2023. This one is kind of amber gourmand sweet. So it's got a lot of woods and spices. It's got amber as well. I wouldn't say this is super duper gourmand once again, but it's on the sweet side. It's ambery, it's floral, it's fresh, fruity. Lots of fruits here. It's peachy, I think, and coconutty. So there's a creaminess, but it's quite woody and spicy too. It's a fun fragrance, I think. Anytime I see peaches in fragrances, it instantly takes it into a fun place, a more playful direction. But I think also when you're smelling this, there's a slight Middle Eastern styling to it that surrounds the sweeter, fruitier notes. I think the name Bonbon is appropriate. So it's Bonbon Pop. The brand has 2 fragrances that features the word pop. We have What About Pop as well, which will come towards the end of the video, which is a caramel popcorn style gourmand. Was that my first fragrance from the house? No, I think it was a few others, but that was actually definitely one of my favorites. Really love the caramel popcorn. But this next one's also quite good. This is Dates Delight. But let me know your thoughts on the bottle of Bonbon Pop and what about Dates Delight. And as you can see, this is going back to 2016, same as Almond Harmony. So their bottles were not as picturesque before. Now they've become picturesque. Like, let me show you Dear Karma, which is coming up next. And then we've got L'Explicit as well, which is kind of fun. And you can see that this is a banana-focused fragrance. So we'll get to those in a little bit. But let's talk about Dates Delight. Dates Delight launched in 2016. And one of the earlier fragrances from the house. And the name basically kind of tells you what it's going to go, what kind of direction it's going to go. So it does feature dates. It does feature ambery notes. And for me, dates are a very interesting fruity note. I've experienced a lot of fragrances that feature dates and that stickiness. Well, first of all, it's not super duper fruity. Like the previous fragrance, Bonbon Pop had peaches. That comes off super duper fruity, whereas dates doesn't. I mean, I don't know if you guys are into the delicacy of eating dates. I love them myself. And it's not like a fruit that similar to other fruits. It's not like peaches, not strawberries, not cherries, not watermelon. It kind of acts amber fruity to me. And I feel like since this is it's got Cistus Labdanum as a note, it acts very ambery and it kind of intensifies the ambery experience because in the end, the dates are sticky. And if you've ever experienced Cistus Labdanum, it's a sticky resin. So it just contributes to intensifying it. But sure, it has some slight fruity touches because in the end it is a fruit, but it's dried up. And for me also, dried fruits don't act the same way as fresh fruits. Dried fruits are much more ambery. But here we also have sugary notes, honeyed notes, warm spices. Oud is in there, and I think the brand was doing oud quite a bit early on with the fragrances, and that's why it was called the House of Oud. But this is warm. It's a very autumn experience, like sweet, powdery, ambery, resinous, slightly fruity and vanillic. So that's Dates Delight. And what do you think about the bottle of this one? Add a comment below. So next we're going to talk about a fragrance called Dear Karma. This was actually featured in a mystery box. This to me seems a bit intense with it's a leather. And I don't know what the name Dear Karma has anything to do with being a leather fragrance. But it's a super intense, slightly animalic leather fragrance with an overdose of saffron. Saffron is so strong here. Intensely strong. Very Middle Eastern leaning kind of a leather. The saffron kind of does that, takes it into that kind of direction. But there's sweet notes in here. There's woods in here, incensey notes, like so it's got smokiness. It's got an animalic quality for sure. But I wouldn't say this is super duper animalic like, you know, civet or castoreum. It's just a leather that's very Middle Eastern leaning with an overdose of saffron and has an animalic edge to it. It's not one of my favorites from the house, but those of you that like leather, slightly animalic, very Middle Eastern, definitely would enjoy Dear Karma. It does have a really cool looking bottle, and I love the ladybug on it. And on the other side, we've got a 4-leaf clover. Anyway, that's Dear Karma. Now, next, we've got a really fun fragrance. It's called DOUX ENNUI. Let me know if you guys are familiar with this one. We did feature this in a mystery box as well. So DOUX ENNUI, to me, it's got a butter note. And the butter note is so authentic. And butter and apricot, I think it acts more like an apricot jam. And I feel like I do put butter on bread, toasted bread, and put jam on it. And it gives me that kind of an idea here. It's vanillic, it's ambery. I mean, actually, I think from now that I remember, it's got the apricots, but there is a jam note in here from what I remember. And I think it's orange jam or probably marmalade, because it's acting very jam-like. And that whole kind of breakfast idea, it comes to mind with this, or brunch, or maybe going to high tea or doing a tea ritual at some hotel that has this service. It's kind of what it reminds me of. And so gourmand lovers should really appreciate this one, especially if they like the idea of butter, because the butter for me is realistic. And I love eating toasted bread and butter. I don't have it with jam all the time, but once in a while, you know, after you're having an egg dish, a savory dish, that leftover toast that you have with a little butter and jam on it is always something that kind of like contrasts against the savory meal that you just had. So that's kind of what this gives me the vibe of, DOUX ENNUI. And it's also very comforting. I think butter is very comforting to me as a note or an ingredient. It's very homey. Jam it's sweet. Autumn, all that comes to mind with DOUX ENNUI. I like this one quite a bit. So that's the other side. Let me know what you think about this bottle for DOUX ENNUI. So we're going to Emerald Green next. This launched in 2022. And unfortunately, this one kind of looks a bit boring when you've got really cool looking bottles like this. But there's a place for green. To me, the green is like a forest to me. So Emerald Green is what the name of this one is. And this to me is very fresh and spicy. I almost feel like this is a summer appropriate offering, because it's got a lot of fresh notes, citruses, but it also comes with a lot of zing, like ginger has a zing. It can come off a bit like grapefruit. I think this is also somewhat in the style of, or in the ballpark of something like Tigar. You've got that kind of situation happening. It's not reminding me too much of it, but then again, it kind of does, you know? But this is blood orange, I think. I don't think that they have grapefruit feature in the notes. You've got other citruses like blood orange, maybe even some tangerine or something, and bergamot usually appears as well. To me, it's very, very fresh. A little bit spicy, somewhat earthy. The ginger, you know, has that zing. And that's when it kind of starts reminding me a little bit of a Tigar. What are your thoughts? It doesn't come off super duper green, but lightly green, I think. What do you think of this? So this is Emerald Green, launched in 2022. Did I mention the year launches? DOUX ENNUI was 2025. Dear Karma 2024, Dates Delight in 2016. Now we're going back to 2017, and we've got a fragrance called Empathy. Beautiful bottles, don't you think? People collect those Fabergé eggs. I mean, these are not similar to Fabergé eggs, but they kind of remind me of them, you know? They're very ornamental, and they almost seem like you can put them somewhere in a nicely decorated living room, and you could tuck it away somewhere where it's not totally out, but, you know, it kind of blends in with any of the colors that you have here. So Empathy is super juicy, fruity offering, leaning a bit feminine, and to me also sort of in that neighborhood of Delina-esque stylings, but not identical once again. I think it's the inspired, but not utilizing similar notes, because this is raspberries and raspberry blossom. There's musk here. There's a lot of different fruity blossoms in the notes. But I quite like it. It's super juicy. It's fruity in a sense that there's a mature side to it and also a young and girly side to it. It's fun. Because this also has some darker notes like woods, like dark woods. And I think it also has like tobacco in the notes. I don't think it's smoky. Well, maybe a slight bit smoky, I think. Not necessarily super duper smoky. But that's fun. That's a fun, fruity fragrance. And the fact that it features the raspberries, the color, I think, is so appropriate for this one. What do you guys think? So that is Empathy. Yep, Empathy is what it says. All right, next we're going to Gambling. And that's this one. This one totally reminds me of Alice in Wonderland. What do you guys think? But fun bottles, I think. If anybody has a Alice in Wonderland kind of a theme in their house, those bottles would fit. So this is to me, it's an unusually addicting fragrance because it has galbanum. I can totally smell galbanum. It's such a distinct smell. One of my favorite smells. It's super duper green, right? It's a green note. It's a resin, sticky resin made out of a plant. And it has a very distinct smell. And it's contrasted here with gourmand notes. So it's almost like there's whiskey, like it's boozy. There's coffee and galbanum. Does it work? It works. It's a contrast. You'll notice it. There's spices here as well, but galbanum in a gourmand fragrance, it does work. I think it's sexy, personally. Very, very interesting. Gambling. Let me know your thoughts on Gambling. But yeah, just imagine there's coffee, there's boozy notes, there's citruses, and of course that galbanum. That's what makes this fragrance super duper unique. All right, next we've got Golden Powder. Even though this is a pretty plain bottle, I almost feel like I'm looking at the ground in Death Valley where it's super dry and the ground has cracked. That's kind of what it reminds me of. What do you guys think? Golden Powder was one of my early favorites. It's sweet, dusty, powdery, woody, and spicy. It has a little bit of a Middle Eastern twist to it. And it's not quite or necessarily gourmand, but it is. It's sweet, slightly chocolatey, but not necessarily full-on chocolate. And the name is so appropriate, Golden Powder, because it's super duper powdery. It's powdery, dusty, but it's almost like you are smelling the grounds of some kind of a sweet that's not quite chocolate, but giving you a little bit of a chocolate effect. It's so good. Really, really delicious. Since I'm not wearing anything, I'm going to spritz some on. Yum. That's definitely one of my favorites from the house. Let me know if you're a fan. Golden powder. And I love the bottle. Even though it's kind of, like I said, simplistic, but I do like that kind of crackling effect on it. Let me know if you're a fan of golden powder. Let's move on to grape pearls next. What do you think of the colors on this one? To me, it doesn't remind me of the colors of grapes, but it doesn't necessarily have to, right? This to me reminds me of a Middle Eastern style fragrance. It's kind of a floral oud kind of a combo. And I forgot to mention the golden powder is 2016, so one of the earlier launches. And grape pearls is also 2016. But this is kind of like a rose oud combo. But it's so, I mean, it's got rose, but I feel like they've thrown in another bouquet of flowers that's contrasting. It's almost like the floral notes, including the rose, are kind of taking over the oud that's in here. So, but the oud contrasts, you definitely notice it. It's not an animalic oud. It's an oud accord type oud. Or, you know, it's not anything dirty. I feel like this is really nicely made. For an oud rose combo, the fact that you've got a little bit of creamy white floral notes in here as well. So awesome. Really, really great smell, I think. I mean, it does have the note of grapes, but I'm not really picking up too much grapes, if at all. Grapes are an interesting note in fragrances. They're not, I don't see many fragrances with grapes in them. Do you do? Do you guys do? I mean, do you guys notice? I don't. It doesn't necessarily, I don't know. There's not a lot of fragrances with the note of grapes. I don't know why it's not used that much. I see wine come up once in a while, but with this one, I'm envisioning kind of yellow grapes or kind of the green yellow kind of color. But this is really nicely done. The refinement in this is so cool, and I feel like it's the addition of the flowers with the rose. That bouquet of flowers against the oud accord or oud is super duper refined and very, very elegant. For an oud rose combo, really, really awesome. Check that out. This is Grape Pearls. I don't quite enjoy the name, unfortunately. I'm sorry to say, but the names are the names, so can't really help that. But maybe I think they're capitalizing on the fact that they wanted to utilize grapes in fragrances. And even though the grapes are not the star, because it's an oud rose combo, they're using the name Grape Pearls. So anyway, let's move on to Guilty Crush. It's another one that I enjoy from the house. Really cool looking bottle. This is the one that's a kind of makeup-y, fruity. It's also kind of fizzy, effervescent. Very creamy. It's almost got, I don't know if you guys know English muffins. Is that, or buttermilk muffins they use to make strawberry shortcake? The whipped cream, it kind of reminds me of the smell of strawberries and that shortcake and, whipped cream. That's what it smells like with the addition of the lipstick that's in here. Because it's very lipstick-y. So it's not like the lipstick in Durham Intense. It's more like literal lipstick. But the fact that it has strawberries, it's giving me strawberry shortcake, or like, you buy it from Whole Foods. It's a cup and they've got the dough in there and the strawberries and the whipped cream. So that's kind of what it reminds me of. It's also a bit fizzy. I forgot to mention that, or maybe I did already. So there is a little bit of a fizzy, bubbly champagne effect happening in this as well. It's a fun fragrance, definitely leaning on the feminine side, but if you like it, wear it. That is, forgetting the name, Guilty Crush. So I do want to point out also, As you can see, now we've got THoO written on the bottom. But in the older fragrances, you've got the House of Oud written. So you do have the old name listed. But whatever, I mean, the brands rebrand and change names and things like that. Even fragrances get their names changed. And then, you know, I've mentioned the brand, what is it? The one brand that redid all their fragrances, they kept the name the same. And you've got the same name fragrance, but it's a complete different formula from my videos talking about the fragrances, and then people telling me the fragrance doesn't smell anything like what you're talking about, and then turns out they changed the fragrance is completely redone by a new perfumer, but they kept the name. So yeah, brands do things like this. So the next fragrance I'm going to talk to you about is Just Before. Quite brown. I think they've captured the color correctly. I think basically the color or the bottles should give you an idea of what you're going to get. This to me is an amber. It's resinous. Whoa, I got a little bit of the perfume on my nose. Ooh, it's good though. I did a video on this. Then it was The Time. And one other fragrance I forgot the name of now. Oh, and this one, Just Before. No, I'm sorry. Living Colors is this. Just Before is the one I'm talking about, and The Time. So there's a video on the channel of these three fragrances. Those launched in 2018, I believe. Yeah, this is 2018, but really awesome amber. If you're an amber fan, woody amber, resinous, spicy, kind of vanillic, definitely check that out. It's really nicely done. But the color is what you get. There's warmth there, but it's kind of golden. It's kind of brown, orange. It's warm, it's spicy. Perfectly captures what you're smelling. It's definitely an amber. If you're a fan of ambers, like Maître Parfumeur Gantier's Ambre Presso, Ambre Sultan, and Grand Soir, those are the kind of more popular ambers. You would enjoy that one. So that is Just Before. All right, the next one I'm talking about is Keep Glazed. So I had a sniff session client that came to the studio one time. Sniff session meaning a consultation. We do like a two-hour sniff-a-thon, sniff session. And it's a woman that I've known for a while, and she wanted to come in and experience new fragrances. She's mostly a fan of Jo Malone, loves Jo Malone, and I've kind of gotten her introduced to a lot of different fragrances, and she came in. She instantly fell for the brand, the THoO, or yeah, THoO. And later I find out she's obsessed with Keep Glazed, and she apparently ordered a ton of samples at ZGO Perfumery. And then she's buying up a bunch of bottles because she's a collector. She collects, and she's probably got like over 100 Jo Malones and a lot of discontinued ones. But she's now collecting two, and this is her favorite, Keep Glazed. And she found out about it here at the studio. Okay, so Keep Glazed it's mango, I believe. Yep. Actually, no, this is not mango. Is it? It's a little mango, but I feel like I get kind of berry fruits. I think there's some strawberry or something like that. It's very creamy. It's super creamy. It's almost like mascarpone creamy. There's spice. Oh, this is delicious. I could see why she likes this. There's a slight greenness running throughout it, but it's not the galbanum. It's more like fresh leaves, but definitely fruity, strawberry, and mango. So it's a bit tropical. And there's woods and spices. Like ginger comes to mind. It's very ginger forward. That is really delicious. I could see why she loves this one. Keep Glazed. Let me know what your thoughts are on Keep Glazed. I think it matches the color. What do you guys think? Mangoes and strawberries. Now, this next one is a more recent offering. It's called L'Explicit, and it's got the banana on it. And I love the bottle too. Je t'aime, it says on there. So the fact that it has the banana, you are definitely getting a banana. And to me, this smells like banana cake. Oh, banana bread, I should say, not cake. I don't know what has happened. I was buying banana bread from the coffee shop a lot when I go get a coffee. And I mean, when I was testing this out, we've featured it in a Zen Club kit. While I'm eating it, I'm testing it out. It's like reminding me of the banana bread that I'm eating. So it's got those kind of touches. It's ambery, but it's bread. It's got bread and it's got lots of bananas. There's like nutty notes in here. Slight musky touches and citruses, but also spices. This is so awesome for autumn and winter because I find cakes to be super cozy. One of my favorite things to eat are cakes, but I don't eat them all the time. But when I go to my mom's and we make cake, it just has that kind of comforting vibe. This is definitely exactly that. It's so super comforting. The bananas with the banana bread, the warm spices in there. It's it's even got that experience of the steam when you take it out of the oven. I love that. I don't get the name though. I don't get the name. I don't have to get the name. L'Explicit, but I think it's a great example of banana gourmand in fragrances. It's interesting. I was thinking of doing a video on banana fragrances. I don't see a lot of banana fragrances out there. Some of the ones I've had, I think also have gotten discontinued. So banana is not really caught on. What do you guys think? Are you a fan of banana in fragrances? Do you enjoy the smell of bananas? Do you eat bananas? Do let me know. Add a comment below. Let's move on to the next one. It's Live in Colors, or is it Live in Colors? I love the colors on this one. Live or Live in Colors is a 2018 launch. L'Explicit came out last year. Keep Glazed is from 2019. Keep Glazed is super awesome. Really delicious. And what's Live in Colors all about? It's grapefruit and ginger, so it's super zingy, spicy, and woody. Also, there's a little bit of a piney kind of peppery touch, and it gets a little bit fruity. So the green, I think there's berries in the note. I think that's where we're getting the red from. It's almost like I've picked a lot of red berries in my lifetime, especially raspberries and blackberries. I really love this stuff. So when you're eating fresh berries, there's this like green flavor and you're kind of getting that here. But this is also very, very peppery. Like the peppery spices are so strong. I think there's either cypress or hinoki in the notes here. Hinoki cypress from Japan. It's a fun one. I think the fact that it has the berries, and it's not super fruity, by the way. It's fruity, but I wouldn't say this is a fruit bomb. It's a nice contrast against the pepper and the fact that the piney kind of cypressy hinoki note also has a bit of a peppery effect. That berry note is quite nice contrast against those notes. So that's Live in Colors or Live in Colors. What do you guys think of the colors? All right, and then we've got Never Ending. Is it inspired by the Never Ending Story? Did you guys ever see that film in the 80s? Hear that song? Never Ending is from 2021. I have to say, I really enjoy the smell, but I think this is the most boring bottle. I don't know. Just the colors. It doesn't really pop. Everything just pops right at you. It reminds me, as a kid, I used to help my mom dye the Easter eggs. And so some of them would come out faint. It just almost reminds me of that, like it's kind of like not colored enough. What do you guys think? It's very pastel. Kind of reminds me of Jordan almonds, a large Jordan almond. But I feel like it's a bit unfinished. I'm sorry to say. But I love the way this one smells. Really, really do. Okay, it's tuberose, right? It's a white floral. It's super creamy, and it's very, very modern and very, very spicy. Lots of woods as well. There's amber, citruses. It's a nice combo. Really super duper. It's super sexy too. The woods, the spices. I think there's even cumin in here. Warm spices, pepper, vanilla. So even though you've got the tuberose, this is not a tuberose bomb. This is kind of like the way I like my tuberose fragrances. First of all, it's very modern. It's not vintage tuberose. But again, there's nothing wrong with vintage fragrances, but I've just been not enjoying tuberose in the vintage format lately. But here, you know, it's a nice balance of a lot of woods, lots of spices, some sweet notes, and of course that creamy layer of tuberose. That's great. Great smell. It smells like the color though, I should say. It really does. Well, I'm getting warm spices, so it's a bit deeper and darker, but the creamy layer of the tuberose, definitely the white part. What do you guys think? Is it unfinished, or is it you like it this way? And again, I'm going back to what I was saying earlier. It reminds me of Easter and doing the eggs, and the eggs are not completely colored, so you have to do it over again. Or make it dark because you've screwed up the egg already. You're going to make it completely dark. Anyway, a lot of memories of Easter eggs. It was one of my favorite things to do during the Easter months. Sorry, my phone's got to be on silent. Okay, the next one is one of the latest offerings from the brand. And I think this is an exclusive. Is it exclusive? It's a brand exclusive, but I'm not 100% sure. Do you hear? There's a little bit of a shaky thing happening. This is Pure Diamond. This is the first clear bottle. It looks quite fun. Unfortunately, the fragrance itself is not my favorite. Well, it's Pure Diamond, launched in 2025. There's a reminder in here of Amouage's guidance. I wouldn't say it's identical, but it sure does remind me of it. I think it's got the rose. Maybe it has the pear, but some other floral notes and spices. Yeah, it very much reminds me of Guidance from Amouage. But again, side by side, they're going to be completely, well, they're not going to be completely different. They'll remind you. But you'll notice the differences between each other. But away from the actual fragrance, all it does is remind me of Guidance. But some of you guys like Guidance. I do enjoy the bottle quite a bit. That's an interesting effect. What I like about the bottle is the black stem in there, the sprayer stem. That just does it for me. If that stem was a different color, it would not have looked as good. What do you guys think? And the little, jewels in there are also nice looking. All right, that is Pure Diamond. That is from 2025. Then we've got Ruby Red. This is ginger and ginger flower from what I remember. There was a exclusive fragrance created by THoO. I'm going to go ahead and pause the video and go grab it. It was made exclusively for Javoy. Are these two the same fragrances? Anybody know? We'll find out. Okay, so the exclusive fragrance for Javoy is called Rock and Rouge. So let's first smell Ruby Red. I don't know why I'm thinking it might be the same. It's just renamed, but maybe not. So it does have tuberose once again. It's kind of sweet and vanillic and creamy, but for sure it's got the ginger flower. This launched in 2022. Okay, let's smell the Ruby Rock and Rouge. Sorry. We just smelled Ruby Red. From what I remember, I think the Rock and Rouge is more Tonka and tuberose, right? Does anybody remember? This is an awesome looking bottle. I don't think they make this anymore, and I thought maybe it might have been re-released as Ruby Red, but I don't think it's the same, now that I think about it. No. Ooh. That's yum. Yeah, I do pick up Tonka. It's a bit sticky, ambery. It's quite spicy. I don't pick up flowers in this one. Totally different than Ruby Red. Oh wow, this Javoy exclusive is so good. Wow. It's spicy. It does have a bit of that kind of rock and roll attitude. It's very unisex, but leaning on the masculine side. Not feminine at all to me. It's quite spicy. There's woods, a bit ambery. Oh, that's really good. Let me know if you guys have gotten your nose on Rock and Rouge from the House of Oud. This table is quite packed now. I hope none of this falls down. We had a little accident recently. Guys, before I continue, I want to also let you know we have our latest Scent Club kit. If you haven't bought your kit yet, please do. We are featuring Liquor BPM by L'Orchestre Parfum. We have Sarah Baker's Vava Vanilla. So yummy. I love wearing that one. I love wearing all three of these, by the way. Really awesome collection of fragrances. And Librado Morphe from Hellenist. It's a violet, iris, nutty, woody offering. And of course, Liquor BPM is super boozy. So yeah, get your kit now before we run out of that one, because it's a really awesome, solid collection of fragrances. All right, let's move on to the next fragrance. We spoke about Ruby Red, which was from 2022. Now we're going to talk about Sapphire Blue, which is this one right here, which is also from 2022. All right, so let's talk about Sapphire Blue. If you've sampled any of these fragrances, do let me know. Add a comment below. What do you think? What do you guys think about the bottles and the colors? Which is your favorite bottle that I've shown so far? This is a floral, spicy, nutty combo. In fact, I do have to say, I prefer Sapphire Blue over Ruby Red, by the way. I like the almondy effect in here. It's slightly bitter because it has the Tonka as well. It's also a bit more masculine in leaning, and not that there's anything wrong with the fact that Ruby Red is a bit more feminine leaning. I like this one a bit more. This also reminds me a little bit of the Rock and Rouge. because that was almonds. I mean, Tonka, I should say. But yeah, that sapphire blue is quite good. I think it will make, I mean, it's got flowers, but it definitely is even a little bit more masculine than the ruby red. There is sapphire blue. So definitely inspired by the colors. I mean, do they make sense with the colors? Not necessarily to me, but I like the bottles myself. Which color do you like better? The red or... Gives me a little bit of a flag color effect here. The only thing is missing is the white. Maybe this one. All right, let's move on. But between the ruby red and sapphire blue, it's the sapphire blue. So this next one is called The Time or Tea Time. The Time. Do you guys remember the band, The Time from the 80s? The Time is, well, it's a tea-focused fragrance, and I always think this is tea time, or... so, is it The Time or is it tea time? Which is it? It's a great one. It's a great tea-focused fragrance. Very grassy and very powdery. A little bit warm woody, as in warm wood, not warm like a temperature. Very super cozy. There's green, grassy effect happening. A little bit floral. But yeah, tea fragrances always are super cozy to me. That's great. It's not super loud, but there's a calming effect that takes over when you put this fragrance on. It's super calming. It also has chamomile, so what are you going to expect from that, right? This literally has chamomile in the notes. Really great. I don't know about the color, though, on this one. Does it match the smell? I think it would have been better a little bit more of like a pastel green color. The blue doesn't match to me. I mean, even the fact that they have wormwood, which is green in the end, should have gone to the green side. But anyway, it's just a bottle color now. I can't complain about that. But let's move on to Wabi Sabi. This is also part of the trio that launched around the same time that gave me the Alice in Wonderland effect. Remember we had this one? Let's see if I can not drop these, but then there's also this one. So these three remind me of the Alice in Wonderland. Whoops, let's talk about the right fragrance, Wabi Sabi. Wabi Sabi has the note of wasabi. I love wasabi. I love sushi and wasabi. So, unfortunately, this one doesn't do it for me. It's a strange fragrance. It's a, yeah, it's not bad, it's just weird. A weird smell. So this can go on to that weird smell, weird fragrances video. It's just a weird smell. It's kind of like rubbery, plasticky, but not so... It's weird. That is weird. So weird. Let me know your thoughts on that one. It's giving me weird thoughts. I don't know why, but it smells so odd. At least the bottle is beautiful. Is it the wasabi that's doing that weird smell? That's weird. Weird smell. And then what about pop? Going to a really delicious popcorn-themed fragrance. What about pop? Sorry, I got a little rag here. I'm kind of wiping down some of the bottles that are a bit dirty. So if I haven't told you guys, one of my favorite snacks is popcorn. Never was into the idea of eating sweet popcorn. I like the salt in popcorn. And even though this has a lot of sweetness, I'm smelling a lot of the savory, salty side of the popcorn. And that's what makes it super delicious. Like, this came out in 2019. I remember when it debuted. I was at the TFWA in Cannes, and I saw the brand, and they had just launched this. So it was an instant love, because I love that salty kind of savory side contrasted with the sweet, caramelly, sticky side. I think salty, savory fragrances were not out that much yet. Now there's a ton of like rice-focused fragrances are very, very popular. And so those are kind of salty, savory. And I think this is one of the earlier ones that started doing those salty I mean, yeah, I could see that. But around this time, it's not necessarily a super gourmand. Just a little before this, the Juliette Has a Gun launched the Vanilla Vibes, which is vanilla with a salty kind of marine thing. But as far as a gourmand, this is more gourmand than Vanilla Vibes, I think. But this also reminds me a little bit of like crackers, saltine crackers, including rice. So it's got that kind of sweet and savory side of gourmand. And we're literally talking about the savory side and also the sweet side. I think it's a great scent. A really awesome offering. What about pop? And going back to popcorn, after I'm shooting this, I'm going to have a bit because I really love myself popcorn. But I don't care for it to be with caramel. I like the salty side of popcorn. So that was What About Pop from 2019. Wabi Sabi launched in 2023. And White Pearl is the last fragrance I'm talking about, is from 2024. And I don't know what's going on with me. I really like this, really do, even though it has marine notes. And I'm not a marine notes lover. What the heck? Really strange. But it's got marine notes. It's got tropical tropical flowers, maybe like yellow flowers. It's got powdery notes like orris. But this smells so good on my skin. Really, really does. I mean, it does have a little spiciness, a spicy edge as well. But the fact that it has, I think, Ylang-Ylang and the marine notes, it gives you that beachy tropical vibe. Now, once again, well, maybe the name does make sense. White Pearl, beachy, kind of the sea. Beautiful bottle, kind of simplistic, I think. It does look like a pearl to me. It smells good. That's really good. Again, I'm kind of surprising myself. It smells more like seaweed. It's the note of cologne. If you guys don't know this note, I speak about it all the time. It's one of my despised notes. It's nauseating to me. It always was nauseating, especially when I first started getting on YouTube in 2012 and talking about it, and I would smell a fragrance that featured it. I was like, whoa, that is nasty. This is not featuring cologne, I think. I think it's more like a seaweed effect. So it's a bit salty, and it's a bit like marine notes or sea, but not cologne. Cologne is major turnoff. But I think when it doesn't have those cologne notes or cologne-like notes, and it has like an accord that's emulating the smell of the sea, I think I appreciate those a lot more than something that's like in-your-face cologne, and it's super nauseating because it starts ending up smelling like sulfur, rotten eggs, really, really bad. Like there was a fragrance called Coney Island. I don't know if you guys remember. I won't say the name of the brand, but I'm sure you guys know the brand. One of the worst fragrances I had ever put my nose on. It was a gourmand with like fish, like literally fish smelling sea. It was pretty bad, really bad. It's discontinued now. But this is really awesome. I really love it. For marine notes, I really love it. And it's not nauseating whatsoever. So that's the last fragrance from the House of THoO. THoO. Let me know which fragrance sounds the best to you. I'm going to pause the video now and I'm going to give you a top 5, okay? I'm going to give you a top 5 of my favorite fragrances from the house, so you know at least what I like. I will leave off Rock and Rouge because it doesn't sell anymore, but if there's any way you can get your hands on it, try, because it's so damn good. But that was an exclusive fragrance for Javoy, and it's been a while since this launched. I think this launched in 2018, but really awesome scent. But let me pause the video and gather my thoughts on a top 5. Maybe I'll do a top 7 and I'll come back and let you know what they are. Okay, guys, I lied. I'm going to give you a top 12, all right? A top 12 for you, starting with, at number 12, White Pearl. White Pearl, again, I was talking about this. This is the last fragrance I spoke about. This is a marine fragrance that I actually enjoy, and it actually smells so good on my skin. But it's kind of tropical and beachy, and at the same time powdery, floral. And of course, you've got the marine notes, and the marine notes actually in that smell quite good. So that's at number 12. At number 11, we've got Almond Harmony. And Almond Harmony, as I was saying, is nutty, tonka. Sticky, shiny, kind of gourmand. Glossy, I should say. Sweet and spicy and powdery. Yeah, it doesn't smell, like I was saying earlier, it doesn't smell too much like marzipan, and it kind of does. I think the bitterness of the almonds are not quite there. That's why it's not giving me the marzipan vibe as much. But sometimes people don't like that bitter almondy effect. Next, it's Never Ending. Remember the egg color that's not quite dyed? And I like that this is kind of white floral, creamy. That is so good. Really, really great. It does have a bit of a pastel kind of color smell. Oh my God, it's good. That's really good. It's tuberose too. Yeah. I enjoy that one. I think it's a bit leathery now that I think about it. But it's not like super duper animalic leather. It's more like suede, I think. So that is at number 10. That is Never Ending. And then at number 9, we've got Tea Time or The Time. And remember, this one is tea. It also has the chamomile. It's super calming, cozy. It also has verbena. So it's an aromatic, citrusy kind of lemony, citrusy kind of an herbal note. It's got a grassy green effect. And I was mentioning earlier, it should have been green, like kind of like a pastelish green color, but it's turned out to be blue. But anyway, some people, I mean, I don't smell this. When I smell the fragrance, I don't smell blue, but that's just me. But I really like this. I've been a fan of that one for quite a bit. So that is at number 12, 11, 10, 9. And then we've got at number 8, I'm not Je T'aime, what am I saying? It is L'Explicit. The banana bread fragrance, super warm, spicy, perfect autumn fragrance. I think banana might be a polarizing note though. What do you guys think? Yep, it does literally smell like steaming hot banana bread that you've pulled out of the oven and you've put it on your counter and you could see the steam rising. That's what it smells like. But it's super warm, spicy. So that looks like it's a newspaper. I thought maybe it might be a recipe book, but it's not. Excuse me. Still trying to get over this flu. Not 100% done yet. Then we've got DOUX ENNUI. I gotta feature this one. I really love the realistic butter note in this. And the jam, the marmalade orange jam idea on this. Well, it's actually, it's acting more like apricot jam, but I feel like it features, excuse me, marmalade and also the apricots. That's why it gives me the apricot jam vibe. But it's very cozy once again. Not as warm, spicy, more fruity in comparison to the L'Explicit. For some reason, that name is not clicking with that fragrance. But again, there's a reason why it's called L'Explicit, and I don't really know. But DOUX ENNUI is so good. I mean, I love the idea of butter in fragrances. Sometimes the butter note can come off synthetic. To me, it doesn't in this case. It smells realistic. So that's DOUX ENNUI. And that is at 6. Then we've got Grape Pearls at number 5. No, I'm sorry. This is at number 6. So yeah, DOUX ENNUI is at number 7. This is at number 6. Grape Pearls. The reason I like Grape Pearls is it's the rose oud combo that's so super smooth and refined. Very elegant, but also the fact that it's rose, but it also smells like there's a bouquet of white flowers mixed in with the rose. And the oud that they're using in here, the oud accord that they've created is not super harsh. It's very smooth. So that's Grape Pearls. And we've got that at number 6. And Empathy is at number 5. Yeah, I really like this one. It's the raspberry blossom, the raspberry fruity note. It's really nicely done. It's tart, it's juicy, it's fresh and fruity. A little bit spicy, a little bit woody, and a little bit ambery and musky as well. This one does lean a bit feminine, honestly. But I think the execution is quite good. So that's Empathy at number 5. And then at number 4, we've got Just Before, the Amber. Can you guys guess number 1? Number 3, number 2, number 1? Yeah, this amber is great. It's resinous, it's balsamic, sweet and spicy. A bit smoky, but not too much. That's really good. I mean, it's kind of in the ballpark of the amber fragrances I mentioned, but maybe more along the line of Grand Soir instead of Amber Sultan and Amber Presso. It's a bit more of a mass-appealing amber, like Grand Soir, but I think it's really quite nice. Warm and spicy, and I think the color is perfect. So that's at number 4. Keep Glazed at number 3. Yeah, this is good. Really, really great. It's that creamy note against the fruits. It's almost like mascarpone, very decadent, kind of a thick. Well, no, I wouldn't say it's thick. This is a bit more fluffy, but very rich, I should say. Sorry, I do have some rags on the floor. That's why because it's not a stable floor, because it gets really, really wet with perfume on the floor after all the spraying I do. So I put some rags down so it soaks up on the rags rather than me slipping and falling on the perfume. But no, this Keep Glazed is yum. Really fun. Warm, but creamy, but super fresh and fruity as well. And the color totally makes sense for this one. So at number 2 and number 1, I had a hard time deciding what to put where. So right now I've ended up with Golden Powder at number 2. As I said, this is one of the best from this house. It's really nice. Vanillic, slightly chocolatey, maybe like butterscotch powder. It's spicy, it's warm, but very, very dusty powdery. That's what I like about this. But the name is so appropriate. Golden Powder. Yeah, golden powder makes sense. It's a bit more darker than golden. I think this color is what I'm smelling. Not necessarily golden, but kind of like a brownish color. But that's really great. There's definitely something chocolatey / butterscotchy happening here in the sweet side. But I wouldn't call this a super duper gourmand. All right, so that's Golden Powder at number 2. And at number 1, it's What About Pop? Yep, that is a good one. I really love the sweet and salty side of that fragrance. That's what makes it special. And yeah, it smells like popcorn. I mean, I eat it all the time, so. But sweetened popcorn, caramelly popcorn, sticky popcorn. But really, really authentic smelling. I do have a video on the channel of popcorn fragrances. It's been a couple of years, I think, since I shot it. But if you guys are in the market for more popcorn, there's not a lot, but there are a few. And What About Pop is featured in there. So go catch that video and find out about a few more popcorn fragrances. But my number 1, 2 fragrance is What About Pop? Of course, Golden Powder at number 2. And that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed the video on THoO fragrances. Do let me know which is your favorite. How would you rank the fragrances here? How would you make your top 5 or your top 10? Add a comment below. If you have any questions or comments, do let me know. Add a comment as well. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Click that bell icon so you'll be notified for future videos. Give a thumbs up for this video so it helps with the algorithm and it'll get it distributed much more wider. And of course, also please subscribe to my shorts channel as well. I would appreciate it if you do. I have it linked in the info box. Thanks so much for watching, as I said, and I'll see you guys later with another video. Bye-bye.